हे स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम बैक, वेलकम अगेन। सो हिंदी वर्जन के लिए आपको जाना है चैनल की प्लेलिस्ट पे। Today we will discuss IUPAC naming. This is the second video. In the first video we have discussed some basics, and today we will discuss some complex cases, very complex cases, or we can say complex cases. For video number 1, look in the description box below so that you can find that. And today we will name these 6 and many other. If you look here, you have 2 coordination pairs. So for naming these type of coordination compounds, you should need to take some precautions. First of all, have you ever written any compound like NaCl? It is written in a pattern so that cation comes first and anion comes second. It is the standard pattern of writing any ionic compound. Same goes here. The first coordination pair is positively charged. Consider this, the first coordination pair is positively charged, while the second coordination pair is negatively charged. So the confusion will not occur if you remember this: sodium chloride, cation, anion. And for the coordination compounds with multiple coordination pairs, first one is positively charged, second one is negatively charged. Now moving on to the next step, what we need to know is a bit about platinum. Now platinum shows 2 oxidation states, that is +4 and +2. +2 is shown when it has 4 monodentate ligand attached to it, and +4 is shown when it has 6 monodentate ligands attached to it. Now if you do not know what is monodentate ligand, then for that visit the playlist and find out the ligand video. Monodentate means the ligand will donate only one pair of electron towards platinum. So +2 for 4 monodentate, +6 for +4 for 6 monodentate. Now look here. Here we have 4, so it will be what? +2. 4 chlorido, therefore +2. Look here, +2, +2, +2, +4. 4 amine dichlorido. 6 ligands, 6, that will give us +4 oxidation state. For this case we have +2. So this is the basic for platinum. So let us start naming. There is nothing to worry in this naming. The only thing you need to know from the previous experiences that if the coordination pair is positively charged, which one is positively charged? The first one is positively charged. We will name the metal as it is. But if the condition is reverted, it has negative charge, then 8 will be added in the name of central metal. Remember this, and you will never screw any one question. Now approaching this question, what we have is 4 amine. So we will start with tetraamine PT platinum. The name is as it is because the first coordination pair is positively charged. So tetraamine platinum. The oxidation state is 2. It is written in Roman within the bracket. So 2. Next is this PTCl4. We have 4 chlorido. We will write down tetrachlorido. Okay, the next is platinum, but not platinum. We will write that as platinate because the second coordination pair is negatively charged. So the name comes platinate 2, like the previous one in Romans. End of discussion. Easy peasy. Tetraamine platinum 2, tetrachlorido platinate 2. Very simple. Let me just clean this a bit so that we can name all of these. Now the moment comes when you can pause the video and try these by yourself. What can I say? Let me try this first. For this particular case we have 4 water molecules. It will give us what? Tetra aqua. Water aqua. PT platinum 2 again. Next we have 4 chlorido and PTCl4. Same ही है यार, ऊपर ही वाला है. Look here, PTCl4. So what we will do? Tetrachlorido platinum 2, and it is done. Again, as simple as that. Sorry, platinate, not num. The second is 8. Now moving on to this one, we have 2 different ligands. We will name them in the alphabetical order without pressing our space bar in between naming ligands. So tetramine, dichlorido, 2 chlorines, dichlorido, and look carefully, no spacing in the naming of ligands. Next is platinum 4. So platinum 4, I will change the line because no more space is there. PTCl4, nothing to worry, tetrachlorido platinate along with oxidation state 2. So this is how you will name platinum complexes. Next we have is CuNH3,4, PTCl4. The answer to this, if you are looking to find the oxidation state of copper, do the maths. It is 0, it is -4, and it will give us copper +2. Very simple. Platinum 4Cl, it will give us an idea of what? +2. Chlorine -1, -4. NH3 0, so copper comes out to be +2. Do the maths. Now the naming part is tetramine. Next we have is copper. Copper will not be written as cuprate because the first coordination pair is, the coordination entity is positively charged. So as it is, copper 2. Now we have PTCl4, again no issue at all, tetrachlorido platinate 2. So this is my special writing, tetramine copper 2, tetrachlorido platinate 2, 8. Remember this 8, rest is history. Now moving to this case for cobalt. Any case of cobalt, we know the oxidation state is 3. The most common oxidation state of cobalt is 3. So we will apply 3 here. In most of the cases you will find that 3. So if cobalt is +3, NH3 is 0 and chlorine is -6, no worries, chromium will turns out to be +3. So naming is not a hard nut to crack. Hexamine cobalt 3, now write down. Hexamine cobalt 3 and the rest portion is hexachlorido chromate 3. Hexachlorido chromate 1, 2, 3. Done. The last case, the only case that has been asked in our examinations, Ag, the oxidation state is always +1. So diamine silver 1. So the first one is silver, the second will be not silverate, it will be argentate. I have taught you this in the previous one. So dichlorido argentate 1 and all done. So I hope you get this, and before it flushes down your memory, grab a pen, paper, pencil and write this down, and we will catch you up in the next section. I will clean this mess up. I will clean this complex mess up so that I can tell you the cases of bis, tris and tetrakis. So students, the final slide of coordination compounds naming. Now we will discuss the use of bis, tris and tetrakis. How will we determine when to use them and what is the concept behind this? Now I will give you a very nice example. Look here. This is methylamine CH3NH2. Methylamine. A simple case. Now if you consider this, if I say I have 2-methylamine functioning as a ligand, then what you will write? You will write dimethylamine according to IUPAC. But dimethylamine is not this. What is dimethylamine? It is CH3 NHCH3. So it will create confusion while naming organic ligands. If we add di and tri, it will create confusions because the corresponding compound could be something else. So in that case, the IUPAC suggests use bis in place of di, use tris in case of tri, and use tetrakis in case of di, tri, and then comes tetra. So one more particular example, if you know pyridine, it looks like this. Pyridine. So if you have 2 pyridine, you will write dipyridine. But dipyridine is also a different compound. Dipyridine is what? It is like that. So it will create a lot of confusion. Dipyridine, it is not dipyridine. This is dipyridine. So if we write di, it will create confusion. So in order to avoid these confusions, use bis, tris and tetrakis in case of di-tri-tetra. Also one more thing, if the name of the ligand contains di, in case the name of the ligand contains di, tri, tetra, penta, words like these, then we will use what? Bis, tris and tetrakis. Now moving on to the cases, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will tell you all these one by one. Look here. CrH2OCl, En2SO4. We have En. What is En? Ethylene diamine. It looks like this. CH2, CH2, NH2, NH2. It is ethylene diamine, short form En. Now the naming. First is aqua, the water. Then comes Cl, chlorido. Next up we have En, 2En. So we will not write what? Diethylene diamine. Do not write this because it contains 2 di. It will create some sort of confusion. So the IUPAC suggests we will use bis. What? Bis in place of di, and the respective ligand will be written in a bracket. So aqua, chlorido, bis, ethylene diamine. Next up is this chromium. You can calculate the oxidation state. It will be 3 and the sulfate is present here also. So done. As simple as that. Next is COEN3,2SO4. I will tell you this, but you can pause the video and try each of the case personally. Now 3En, what we will use? Again, not tri, we will use tris. Next up, ethylene diamine. In few books it is written ethane 1,2-diamine. Doesn't matter. Ethylene diamine. Next up we have this cobalt. Now the oxidation state is a bit tricky, but I have told you in the previous video. This is 3, this is 2. We will do the cross multiplication. This 3 is coming here. It will be 3 plus. And this 2 will come here. That will be 2 minus. And the oxidation of cobalt will be 3 in most of the cases or in all of the cases. Next is sulfate. Nothing to worry. Write down sulfate. Done. Try this. This is your homework. And tell me the answer in the comment section. Next up we have COEN2F2, again En. What we are going to use? We are going to use bis, ethylene diamine, and we have this F2. This is called difluorido. Fluorido. Next up is this cobalt. The oxidation state is as usual 3, and ClO4. This is the first time we are looking at this ClO4. It is named perchlorate. Perchlorate, and you will find the respective oxy acid in P block elements halogen family. Now NiDMG2. I don't like DMG much because one of the examiner asked me what is the use of DMG. So I said it is used in the estimation, or you can say the testing of nickel, and he said go and bring DMG from the lab. I said, sir, there is no DMG in our lab. He came to the lab, he find the DMG, he show me the bottle, and I was frustrated. So that is why I don't like DMG much. But you must like DMG because the structure and the queries are very important. First of all, the structure. The structure is कुछ ऐसा CH3 C C C C C NOH NO with a minus. It is DMG, dimethyl glyoxime, and IUPAC it will be written as dimethyl glyoxamato. So this will be bis dimethyl GLY oxamato. This is nickel, and the oxidation state will be sir -1 for DMG, 2 DMG -2. That will give us 2. Done. Finally, the last case, last but not the least, VOACAC whole twice. This is a very interesting case. What is ACAC first of all? ACAC means what? Let me just clean this up a bit. ACAC means Actually, I do forget. It is acetyl acetonato. Acetyl CH3CO and add a acetone to it, that is CCC with a O in the center. There CH3, a bond, an H and a double bond. This is ACAC, acetyl acetonato. For this particular ligand we will use bis. So here we use bis, ACAC, acetyl acetonato, and what we have is this O. This O will be named as oxo, and for V we have vanadium. For the oxidation state it will be 4. If you look here, oxygen -2, ACAC -1, that will give us +4. So these are the names of some compounds in which bis, tris, tetrakis is used. Now moving on to the last section of the video. I will clean this up, so just take a good screenshot. The last section is about the bridging ligands. In the ligand video I have told you that these are important, but I never show you the naming. The naming comes here. Now if I say I have this sort of compound, H2O4, Fe, OH, NH2, again Fe, again H2O4 with let us consider 2 sulfates, and I say what could be the probable IUPAC name for this compound. First of all, we have 2 metals. Also between 2 metals we have 2 ligands. These are sandwiched between our metal. So these ligands are called bridging ligands. It forms a bridge between our metals. For bridging ligands we are going to use a symbol mu before their name, so that to signify their position. Now start from left to right like this standard pattern. From left we have tetra aqua. For Fe we will write iron, so half done up to here. Next we have this OH and NH2. For NH2 we are going to use this the oxidation state of this iron, 3. Do the maths, you will know it is 3. Next up we have NH2. NH2, that will be symbol comes mu first and the name is amido. For OH we have again the mu, that is hydroxo. So the use of mu is important as far as bridging ligands are concerned. Again H2O4 and Fe, we will repeat tetra aqua iron 3, and it will be what? Sulfate. So this is how you will name bridging ligands. One more particular case, we have this C6H5 whole thrice P and platinum, Cl, again Cl, again Cl, again platinum, something like Cl, and again PCC6H5 whole thrice. Now if you are trying to name this, it will be very nice. Try this by yourself. C6H5 whole thrice, it is triphenylphosphine. The ligand name is triphenylphosphine. Let us start from the left, chlorido. Next up we have is this triphenylphosphine. Phosphine is an important compound. Next is this platinum, so we will name it platinum. The oxidation state is no miracle, it will be 2. I have told you, just go behind. Now these are the 2 bridging ligands between these 2 platinums, so the symbol comes mu. Dichlorido, I will cover both the chlorine, dichlorido. So we have gone this far. Next up is again the naming of the ligands and the metal, that is what? Chlorido, this one, and triphenylphosphine. Triphenylphosphine. The next is the naming of this platinum, platinum, and the oxidation state 2. So a very nice and long lengthy name. Chlorido triphenylphosphine platinum 2, mu dichlorido chlorido triphenylphosphine platinum 2. So I hope you love it. This is the end of IUPAC nomenclature. In the next video we are going to discuss Werner's coordination theory, VBT and CFT and many things. If you are watching this till the end, make sure you share this with your friends, and we will catch up you later.